Hey, 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 Kharisma here. Welcome back. If you're new around here, hello. Today I'm going to be reacting to the latest news about Tiger Woods. Now, apparently in the news, his ex-girlfriend Erica Herman is suing him for $30 million after being booted out of his Florida mansion. That and more when we return. So let's get into it. Now, I have lots of thoughts about this, lots of opinions. Now, this story only broke, I believe, a few days ago, but so far there is some really interesting information that's coming out. And so I want to share that with you. So let's read here. This is according to CNN. CNN. Tiger Woods' ex-girlfriend has lawsuits against golfer and trusts. So this is the girlfriend, that's Erica Herman. So let's get into it. Woods and Herman dated for 6 years before the relationship came to an end. Now, can you see that? Okay, maybe I need to make this bigger. Let's put this right so it's more legible. Erica Herman, who was a longtime girlfriend of golfer Tiger Woods, has filed two separate complaints after the 6-year relationship between the pair came to an end. Both filings were made to the Circuit Court in Martin County, Florida. The first suit, filed in October 2022, alleges a trust owned by Woods violated the Florida Residential Landlord-Tenant Act by breaking the oral tenancy agreement. The filing states that the actual damages are likely to be measured in excess of $30 million. Woods is not named as a defendant in the October lawsuit. In December, the trust filed a motion for the court to dismiss with prejudice in response to Herman's complaint, alleging that the dispute between the two began when Woods broke off his relationship with Herman in October and informed her that she was no longer welcome in Woods' home. It further states that the non-disclosure agreement, NDA, between the two required confidential arbitration in all disputes between Herman and Woods, and that Herman's suit violates that agreement. A copy of the NDA is attached to Woods' trust's motion, but the publicly available version of the document is redacted entirely. So let's stop there for a second. So two things. Based on this article, or based on what's coming out, they lived together for 6 years in his house. Okay, so that's number one. So it's his house, his residence in Florida, his mansion, where he shared with his 2 children. Okay, so he invited her to come to live with him. She's living there for 6 years. Number 2, he didn't give her the ring. He didn't pop the question. They weren't married. They were just girlfriend and boyfriend. Okay, so we've established that. Secondly, she signed an NDA, so a non-disclosure agreement between the two of them, which means that whatever transpired between us, whatever happens in my house with my kids, whatever I share with you during our time together, you cannot talk to anyone about it. And she signed it. She signed on the dotted line. Okay, so she agreed to it. All right, let's keep going. So I'm just laying these facts down, okay? Let's see, where am I? Okay, so a more recent complaint aimed at nullifying the NDA was served to Woods on Monday. Both cases are being brought by Fisher Potter Hodas, a Florida-based family law specialist. CNN reached out to Fisher Potter Hodas for further comment but did not immediately receive a response. CNN also reached out to Woods' representatives for comment but did not immediately receive a response. The October filing alleges that Woods' Jupiter Island Irrevocable Homestead Trust unlawfully brought Herman's tenancy, hope I'm saying that right, at the couple's property on the Hobo Sound, Florida, to an end. So he broke up with her, in other words. So she was living there. He broke up with her for whatever reason. And he's like, okay, you got to go. Okay. To me, that's normal. That's fair, right? If you have a man or a woman living with you and they're in your house and your relationship has come to an end, you ended it. Well, the natural thing to do is that they have to leave. Goodbye. We're no longer together for whatever reason. The legal filing states the defendants Woods and his trust elected to engage in prohibited practices, i.e. self-help, causing severe emotional damages to the plaintiff. The prohibited practices were done intentionally, with premeditation and with malice aforethought. Okay, so I have a lot to say about that. Okay, so this is Woods and the girlfriend at the time here. Specifically, the lawsuit claims agents of the defendant told Herman to pack a suitcase for a short vacation before revealing to her that she had been locked out of the house on arrival at the airport. It claims lawyers for the trust were on hand to confront Herman with proposals to resolve the wrongdoing they were in the midst of committing. So, this signals to me a lot of things about this woman. First of all, if you're going to have to go to all these lengths to get this woman out of your house, this tells me that he probably asked her to leave before on many occasions and she wouldn't leave. She felt that she had a right to be there, even though it's not her house. The fact that you lived there for 6 years doesn't give you any claims to that house. You weren't married, you weren't engaged. There wasn't any written agreement that said that you had any bearing or any permission to stay in Tiger Woods' house longer than he permitted. So the fact that he had to, create this illusion that you're going on a trip and then told you that, hey, you're no longer invited back to my house. You can't live here anymore. Tells me a lot about this woman, Erica Herman, that he had to go through lengths to get this woman out of his house. Just saying. So, and now she's saying it's emotional damage. Listen, you weren't married to the man. It wasn't like you were married. You were just a girlfriend. Okay, let me continue. The filing also alleges the agents of Woods and the trust has since removed Herman's belongings from the property and misappropriated over $40,000 of her cash. Why is she keeping $40,000 at the house? If that's true, why is it not in a bank account somewhere? Why are you having $40,000 laying around in the house? Don't make sense to me. But let's continue. The NDA was signed in August 2017, according to the court filing, but Herman believes it is invalid and unenforceable. So now she wants to go back on what she signed to get it undone so that now she can talk about all the things that happened with her and Woods, even though she agreed to it at the beginning of the relationship. The old sayings, there's an old saying, what's it goes? How does it go? The scorn of a woman, the wrath, something like that. I can't think of it now, but all is fine at the beginning of the relationship until things start to break apart, fall apart. There's trouble in paradise. Then you see the real person comes out. Now, we don't know what happened between the two of them. However, I'm going to say this. I'm sensing that this is a money grab. Because why else would she be doing this? You agree to sign an NDA to not disclose anything, nothing that was shared with you, any experiences, good and bad, that happened while you were with Tiger Woods. And now you want to break that. You want to go back on this. For what reason? Now, I'm thinking that if it was so bad, right? If it was so bad, say for example, if there was some type of abuse, physical, emotional, verbal, whatever abuse, the way that she is behaving right now tells me not. Because, first of all, she's fighting to stay in the house where she's no longer wanted. If you're abused, you want to get the hell out of there. Two, she never left on her own accord. So why are you sticking around if something so horrible happened that you don't want to talk about it? And thirdly, this girl is ready to cash in on her relationship with Woods. I'm just saying, but let's continue. The NDA was signed in August 2017, according to the court filing, but Herman believes it's invalid and unenforceable. It notes that during litigation, a trust controlled by Woods commenced an arbitration against Herman based on the NDA, thus expressing its belief that the agreement remains valid. The filing asks for purported arbitration clause. For the purported arbitration clause in the NDA to be deemed unenforceable under the Federal Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act of 2021 and the Federal Speak Out Act. The former bill, coming into public law in March 2022, invalidates arbitration agreements that preclude a party from filing a lawsuit in court involving sexual assault or sexual harassment at the election of the party alleging such conduct, according to Congress' website. The Speak Out Act became public law in December 2022 and prohibits the judicial enforceability of a non-disclosure clause of non-disparagement clause agreed to before a dispute arrives involving sexual assault or sexual harassment. So in other words, she is trying to break this NDA by using this Speak Out Act that came into being, I believe, when it had to do with the Me Too and all of that stuff, when that came into being. So she's trying to use this to break the NDA so she can get around about talking and sharing more. But so far as I know, she has not cited any sexual assault or any sexual harassment, yet she wants to use this act to break the NDA. Very fishy indeed. But let's continue. Okay, so the filing does not accuse Woods of sexual assault or sexual harassment. Well, I just said that, right? In a civil cover sheet appended to the October suit, Herman's lawyer indicated no when asked whether the case involves allegations of sexual abuse. So there are no allegations of sexual abuse. Even her lawyer said that. So, is that it? I think that's it. This article. So to me, it's very, very, very fishy. When you get kicked out of the house, all of a sudden now, you are wanting to sue Tiger Woods. Now, there's something else I wanted to share here about the $30 million lawsuit. Let's just see if I can pull that up, which is crazy to me. She's suing him for $30 million. And why? Why? Let's see if I can bring that up and show that to you, because it just doesn't make sense that you're going to be suing this man for $30 million. And you're not even married to the man. Like, this boggles my mind. I don't know what you think about this whole thing. Okay, let's see if it comes up here. But why is she suing him for $30 million and you're not even married, and that they had a verbal Tennessee. Okay, here it is. Okay, this gives me a little bit more insight. So I'm going to share this now. Okay. This is crazy. I mean, this is so crazy that women today, modern women today, just thinks that they can, get involved with a man, a rich man. I wish this ad business would just go away. How do you get this clear? I'm not sure. But anyways, let's not let that distract us. Okay, so it baffles my mind that modern women today thinks that when they have a relationship with a high profile man, a high value man, a rich man, that they're entitled to him providing for them for the rest of their life. And they're not even married. I mean, I have a lot to say to Tiger too, but I'm going to leave that to the end. You're not entitled. He already spent, I believe it was $100 million settlement with his ex-wife. And now this girl, Erica Herman, she wants a piece of the pie too. Sometimes I am baffled at the audacity of these modern women, honestly. But let's continue here. So this is what I wanted to show you. And this may repeat some of the stuff I already shared, but there is some stuff I want to bring to your attention. So it says Tiger Woods' girlfriend Erica Herman wants to nullify a non-disclosure agreement following a 6-year relationship with a professional golfer. Attorneys for Herman filed a complaint seeking declaratory judgment on Monday in Martin County Circuit Court, according to online court records. The couple had been living together in the area, according to the complaint. Martin County is locally directed north of Palm Beach County in Florida. Woods and Herman have not publicly announced the end of their relationship, which began in 2017. She had been seen regularly with him at major championships such as the 2019 Masters. He won for the 15th major, and during his President's Cup captaincy in Australia later last year. But she was not at his Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas the first week in December, or at the Genesis Invitational he hosted at Riviera 3 weeks ago. According to the complaint, a trust controlled by Woods is attempting to silence Herman with a non-disclosure agreement that she signed while involved in a personal and professional relationship with Woods. The complaint argues that the NDA should be nullified under a federal law that prohibits an NDA from being enforced when sexual assault or sexual harassment is involved. Now, as you can recall, in the other article, it said that her lawyer said that there was no sexual assault involved, right? Okay. Herman previously worked at his Woods Jupiter restaurant. The complaint does not provide details about what information Herman might want to disclose or make specific allegations against Woods. The complaint says because of aggressive use of the NDA, Herman is unsure whether she can disclose facts giving rise to various legal claims she believes she has. It also says she's unsure what other information about her own life she can discuss and with whom. Well, yeah, when you sign an NDA, this is what happens. You can't talk, or you shouldn't talk. You're not allowed to talk legally because you sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Herman filed a separate complaint on the 26th of October accusing the trust established by Woods, the Jupiter Island Irrevocable Homestead Trust, of violating the Florida Residential Landlord-Tenant Act. She alleges they had an 11-year oral tenancy agreement. Let me repeat. Oral, meaning, according to her, this is what the agreement, it was by word of mouth, oral, not written down like how the NDA was legally created and then she signed it, but it was oral. So she's saying, "Oh, this is what Tiger and I we agreed upon." Okay, that's a big problem for me right there. And that 5 years remained on it when she was removed from the property through which he had described in the complaint as trickery. Herman alleges Wood's agents persuaded her to pack for a short vacation. She claims when she arrived at the airport, they told her she has been locked out of the house and was not to return. She also alleges the agents attempted to justify their illegal conduct by paying for a hotel room and certain expenses for a short period of time. The complaint says the agents removed her belongings and misappropriated $40,000 in cash that belonged to her, making scrupulous and defamatory allegations about how she obtained the money. Erica, were you double dipping in the restaurant? Is that where that money came from? I'm just asking a question, not accusing, because it's very strange to me that you would keep $40,000 in the house, and there are allegations circling around about where you got this money from. Interesting. Wood's manager at Excel Sports Management, Mark Steinberg, didn't immediately respond to a phone call and text from the Associated Press seeking comment. So there you have it. There was something else about $30 million. This doesn't say. But she is suing for $30 million. And what this article failed to mention is that because she's saying that she had 5 years left on that agreement, so for the 5 years totals $30 million that she is entitled to because Tiger Woods kicked her out of his house before this oral tenancy agreement was up. Do you really believe that? Those are my questions for you. Do you believe, number one, that there was an oral agreement? I don't. Number two, that she's entitled to $30 million because Tiger Woods kicked her out of her home because he broke up with her, which any sane person does, especially when you don't leave on your own. He had to find a way, and it speaks volumes to the characteristic of this woman, that he had to go through all of this length of trouble and trickery to get you out of his damn house. Really? Tells me a lot about her. So I don't believe that there was an oral agreement. You must have been quite a character that he had to go through lengths to get you out of his house. I am sure Tiger wasn't a saint, just like any man and any woman. There is always, when you live together with someone, there's always going to be things that drive you crazy. You're really going to see the other side of the person. And this is called a relationship. Okay. It's not always, walking through the rose bushes, walking through the fields and hoop-de-doo-de-la and everything is hunky-dory. No, there's going to be challenges. A relationship is challenging. So I'm sure that he had his part to the demise of this relationship as well. But to me, the audacity that this woman and the gall and nerve that this woman have to claim $30 million, she wants $30 million, and this house that his mansion that he lives in is where he lives with his 2 kids. So that's his home. That's his family home. And she's suing the trust where this house is. The house is owned by the trust, and she's suing the trust so that she can get at the house to get $30 million. Now, Tiger, when are you going to learn your lesson? Like, when it comes to choosing women, man, you have an awful and poor track record. Seriously. From the ex-wife to sleeping around with all the hookers and whomever else that you slept with, and then all the other relationships that you've been involved since then. I mean, I respect you as a golfer. You are one of a kind when it comes to your craft and your sport. But relationships, man, like you need to just hang it up, become a monk, like stop with this, like someone said, it may be best for you just to hire an escort because at least you don't have to go through all this nonsense. Maybe there's some validity in that. I don't know. And that's not what I'm suggesting. But the women that you choose to build a life with and have a relationship with, man, poor judgment. Just become a monk. That's all I have to say about that. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think she's justifiable in claiming money against this man's house, his family home, where he lives with his 2 children? Do you believe or do you agree that the NDA should be broken so that she can talk her smack and her garbage and all the filth that she wants to talk about? She was cool with it while she was in the house, but now she wants to share all of the garbage and all of the drama with the world. And you know what? And it comes down to believe. You know that believe all women garbage? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like I'm not buying into that. So, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think she has some ground? Now, I don't know the laws in Florida when it comes to relationship and cohabitating in a property. Like, what are the validities? Is she out to lunch? I think she is. But then again, you will find a lawyer that would argue this ridiculous claim, like you for anything, right? Doesn't matter how ridiculous it is or delusional, you will find a lawyer that will pick up the case and defend her. So it's interesting to see how this plays out. But I really want to hear what you have to say about this. Let me know if you think that she the NDA should become null and void. Do you think she's worth that money? Do you think she has a claim? Her overall agreement has some validity, which I think is bullshit. But hey, that's just my opinion. Until next time, remember to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so that you get notified when I drop a daily video just like this. And as always, remember, be good. And men, choose wisely. Don't let the smaller brain lead you to choose the wrong partner for life and building a life. Please choose wisely. And this goes the same for women, but for the guys, especially men like Tiger Woods, always seem to keep getting it wrong. Until next time, take care and bye for now.